Hello and welcome to our series here at the Minneapolis Foundation on the state of Minnesota nonprofits. This series highlights the work of specific nonprofits as a way to give our fund holders here at the Foundation a better understanding of how rapid changes are affecting organizations so that our fund holders can be equipped to make their giving more impactful in this moment. My name is Tom Weber, and I am pleased to be joined by Leah Hébert Welles, who is the CEO of Open Arms of Minnesota, which is a nonprofit that prepares and delivers medically tailored meals at no cost to critically ill Minnesotans and their loved ones. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
So how's your organization doing right now?
Yeah, I think that I answer that question all the time by saying we're all in a state of uncertainty, right? And so we've experienced lots of changes, all of us have in the past year, and certainly my organization is no different. Being in the food space is interesting right now. There's a lot of conversation about food, and our clients are, like you said, critically ill with often terminal illnesses or life-threatening illnesses. They need special diets. And so they aren't able to access some of the food resources that other folks are able to access.
Like a normal Meals on Wheels may not
Yes.
work for them, as an example.
Right. So they may have end-stage renal disease, which means they're getting dialysis, and they have certain needs in their meals. They can't have too much potassium and kind of things that we wouldn't consider in normal life. And so all of the meals that we give them fit those restrictions that they have.
So in this moment, we have just come out of a government shutdown. And during that shutdown, there was a lot of confusion over SNAP, the food assistance. I don't actually know that the confusion is completely cleared up at this moment.
Yeah, not cleared up, I think.
How has that parlayed down into your work?
Yeah. So our clients are mostly at the intersection of food insecurity and critical illness. So often they are dependent on our meals, and maybe other folks in their family are dependent on SNAP dollars or supplemental resources, food resources. So it absolutely has affected clients. The other thing that's affected clients is with the government shutdown is these are folks who need lots of different community resources, which often were closed over the past month or so, right? So their social workers were inaccessible. The people that they call and the people they rely on to give them information were not accessible. And so they were calling us. They are still calling us, trying to get resources and referrals to things like housing and other resources than just food.
So you broadened your horizons in some ways.
I think so.
Has that created a conversation, perhaps maybe with your board, on the scope of your work?
Yeah, I think what we're doing now is really focusing internally on how much time our staff is spending on what we call advocacy, which is client advocacy, trying to make sure our clients are getting all the resources. So we're tracking that. We are, looking at our own staffing models and trying to make sure that clients get the most support they can get. What does that mean? Do we need to look at to be sustainable for Open Arms? Do we need to look at more staff? Do we need to talk to our funders? That kind of thing.
Do you in the places where you have budget challenges, what are the roots of those? Is it some of the funding cuts that were made this year? Is it this shutdown? What is the source of maybe the pinch points you're experiencing?
Sure. I think we are like a lot of nonprofits, unfortunately, right now, and it's a combination of that. So state funding has been difficult. We lost a significant amount of state funding over the last year and a half, and had to look for other places to go that would fund meals for people with HIV, that would fund elderly folks, some of the most vulnerable people. And then our clients, with a lot of the government realities over the past year and a half, they're the most vulnerable folks, and those resources for vulnerable folks are hard to come by right now. We're seeing a lot of nonprofits close, cut staff. So like what I talked about before, all those resources that are out there for folks who need help are really getting smaller and smaller.
Have you kept your service level, maybe with some duct tape and some chewing gum, the same, or have you actually cut down on your clients?
Yeah, right now we're adding clients again, but over the past year, we did have to really cap clients. And that is a really hard thing for us. Our ethos as an organization is lead with yes. And we have open arms, and we're always trying to take more. And, there's an infinite amount of people out there, not infant, but there's a lot of people out there who are struggling with critical illnesses and food insecurity. And so we could be helping so many people, but we've had to, say no more than we would like and try and be more creative about ways ways of saying yes. We are at a good point right now, but we could help so many more folks.
I think your website says something like there's always room.
There is always room for one more at our table.
Unless there's a
there's a government shutdown.
Government and other budget issues.
Exactly.
Well, what should people know about the work you plan to be doing here in maybe the next 3, 6, and 12 months, given all that's going on?
Well, the next 3 months are our busiest. We're helping folks with Thanksgiving meals right now and trying to make sure that even if you are very critically ill and very food insecure, you've got a Thanksgiving meal to enjoy with your friends and family. So it's a very busy time for us. And then when the weather gets cold, as you know, older folks, people with disabilities, people who are bedbound, that's the hardest time of year for them. So this will be a real busy time for us. We'll have lots of client inquiries and so we can use all the help that we can get. We have this amazing community of volunteers, 6,500 volunteers. It's our secret sauce. And so if people are interested in helping, we can always use people who have an extra set of hands or cars to deliver meals.
Mm-hmm. So is this an organization that only serves the Twin Cities or Minneapolis and St. Paul?
We're not just helping people in the Twin Cities. We have a shipping program. And so we are able to ship meals, and we are always looking for people who are committed to rural Minnesota and are interested in making a difference in rural Minnesota, because a lot of those folks who live in rural Minnesota, away from grocery stores, they have even a bigger barrier to get food. And that's a really exciting piece of our organization that we're trying to expand.
For people, we have a lot of fund holders at the foundation who are interested in this world, this avenue of food security and insecurity. What should people know about this part of life that maybe they don't fully comprehend today?
One of the exciting parts is people are starting to talk more about food as medicine. And that's what really excites us at Open Arms, is this idea that if the right food at the right time can really make a profound difference in somebody's life. And so that is what we're really trying to focus on, is that we can, not only are we helping people at the end of life, but we're also helping people get better, right? So they're in cancer treatment or they have an illness, and the right food combined with their medical treatments help them get better. We're helping people with malnutrition. We're getting people better. We're saving money for a lot of payers and the state and things like that by helping people get better. And we would love for people to be part of that with us. It's a very exciting time to talk about that and to make a difference.
Well, I appreciate you being here today.
Yeah,
thank you very much,
absolutely.
Leah Hébert Welles from Open Arms of Minnesota. We appreciate you joining us, and we invite our fund holders to connect with their philanthropic advisors if you have further questions about this organization or the area where it performs. We're excited to work with you to find a plan that fits you for your giving. Thanks for joining us.